A federal judge just sided with the ICE protesters who filed suit against the Department of Homeland Security. The judge ruling that DHS must stop using force against protesters unless they pose an imminent physical threat to others. But technically, this ruling will only last 2 weeks. It's a temporary restraining order, which is generally the first step in the process. The judge found that DHS has been using force against nonviolent protesters and has ordered them to stop at a minimum, like I said, for the next 2 weeks. In court records, the plaintiffs submitted this picture of what appears to be a federal officer spraying some sort of gas at a protester at the ICE facility. Plaintiffs also submitted this video of protests this past weekend. They say you can see officers firing into the crowd as they were attempting to disperse. Another video of a little kid washing her eyes out. They also say that officers did not give them any warnings or instructions before they began shooting. The ACLU filed suit in November in an attempt to stop these kinds of alleged incidents. In a 22-page opinion, the federal court judge writing, "In a well-functioning constitutional democratic republic, free speech, courageous newsgathering, and nonviolent protests are all permitted, respected, and even celebrated. In an authoritarian regime, that is not the case. Our nation is now at a crossroads." We wanted to see what DHS had to say. We searched through federal court records and we could not find an official response from them. However, the plaintiffs attached their email correspondences with the federal government, in which they say the Department of Justice offered to issue a verbal warning to comply with the officer or agent's instructions and deploy less lethal munitions when objectively reasonable and necessary as defined by DHS, CBP, ICE, and/or FPS policy. But the plaintiffs did not feel like this would really have teeth in it, so there was no deal there. The Department of Homeland Security sent us a statement reading in part, "Over the weekend, more than 500 rioters violently stormed an ICE facility in Portland, forming a shield wall with umbrellas while they attempted to tie the vehicle gate shut with ropes and moved a dumpster to block the front gate. Rioters threw objects at law enforcement and rocks at cameras. 6 rioters were arrested with charges including destruction of government property, failure to comply, and disorderly conduct." But yesterday they told us it was over 250 rioters and that 4 people were arrested. We emailed them asking for clarification and we did not hear back. Technically, the plaintiffs can ask the judge for a longer pause that would go into effect after this temporary restraining order ends. Until, of course, the case is decided on the merits. That's all I have for you. I'm Tanvi Verma. I went to law school so that you don't have to.